Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
I am 36 years old, and that happened when I was 14. I still to this day walk around in fear of who were you?
Now on News 6, history repeats itself in an awful way. Her mother was murdered. Now she's lost her sister, a mother of 10. She shares her grief and a plea for someone to come forward.
Just check the door handle of a black SUV.
Caught on camera, deputies stake out, then take down a couple accused of breaking into cars at a water park. The back seat, a baby on board.
We didn't get there, but we have a very good chance of getting there.
President Trump wraps up his summit with Russia's president. No deal on Ukraine, but what Putin said next may have caught the president a little off guard. But we start now at 10 tonight with breaking weather news as we wait for an update on what is now Hurricane Erin, a stubborn storm pretty much parked over one local county. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger has the night off. Most of you haven't seen any real rain for hours tonight, if you saw any today at all, but a flash flood warning is in place for a part of Marion County. I want to get you right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas.
Yeah, Matt, we've been tracking this for the last hour. If you've been streaming with us on News 6 at 9 and News 6 Weather Live tonight, we're watching again 4.5 inches of rain falling in just about the last 2 hours. The timeline says 6 hours, but again, most of this fell in about a 2-hour span. We have multiple roads reported flooding. The Weather Service put a considerable tag on this, and that's whenever your phone goes off, even if you don't have a local news app. Hopefully you do have the News 6 weather app, and we're able to get this. We're going to click on the little flood icon down here, and that's going to pop up the storm report. And where we have the worst of it right now, at least being reported by law enforcement, is going to be the flooding report on State Road 40, North Pine Avenue, South Pine Avenue, and then West Silver Springs Boulevard. Also a report of a car being submerged here, or at least the car disabled there, stalling out in the flood water. So again, just keep that in mind. We have dual flash flood warnings tonight right around downtown Ocala, heading up into Kendrick as well, and then also on the west side. Those flash flood warnings will be allowed to expire unless they are extended at 10:30 tonight. The positive note here, we'll take it back to the radar, is that the rain has lightened up now considerably. So I'm going to clear all this other mess off so you can see what I'm talking about here. We'll zoom back out, and I want to put a quick loop on this for you to show you that over the last 15 minutes, 30 minutes, that big giant cell that was hanging out is falling apart. We also have some heavier downpours now. New flood advisory popping up just south of Bellevue. This is going to be north of the Villages and Wildwood. This cell nearly stationary. I'm going to keep close tabs on this until this dissipates. We'll talk more about this coming up at about 10:19.
Jonathan, thank you. New at 10 tonight, our other top story, a family is grieving a mom who left behind 10 kids.
It was almost like a flashback. I just started thinking about my mom. And like, how is this happening again?
Latoisia Davis was shot and killed this week in Orange County. Her killer still on the loose. Her sisters say they want justice, especially because their mother was also murdered years ago, and that case was never solved. News 6 Orange County community correspondent Jarrell Baker has the story.
It happened here off of 20th Street in Orlando, where deputies found 34-year-old Latoisia Davis shot to death.
The call that I got was your sister got shot. So all I know is I can get there. I can save her. I can save her.
OCSO found Davis dead on scene around 2 a.m. Saturday, and they're still searching for her killer. Her sisters Sasha Thompson and Natisha Varela say this is tragic history repeating itself.
I am 36 years old, and that happened when I was 14. I still to this day walk around in fear of who were you? You know, who did that to mom?
They don't want Davis's 10 children to grow up the same way.
You could possibly be standing right next to him in the grocery store. You could possibly speak to him, hold the door for him. That's a hard way to live, not knowing who, what, why.
They say Davis was the glue holding their family together.
She'll fall out with somebody, and next thing you know, she be like, oh, that's my dog, that's my baby mama, that's my sister, like, and you ain't got no other choice but to accept it, because that's how she was, like, that's how she felt, that was her heart.
Now her children face going back to school without their mom.
I lost my mom at a very young age too as well. And it hits you at different points in your life. And I just honestly feel like it's gonna be a long journey for her.
In Orange County, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
So the family has set up a GoFundMe to help pay for Davis's funeral expenses and support her 10 kids. If you'd like to help, look for the link inside Jarrell's story on the homepage of clickorlando.com. Well, they call it a tactical vehicle takedown. Deputies box in and arrest a couple accused in a string of car break-ins at a local water park. But what detectives spotted in the back seat has many in the agency angry. It appears the couple took their toddler along for the ride. News 6's Troy Campbell walks us through how Osceola County deputies teamed up to make that takedown happen.
Detectives with the Osceola County Sheriff's Office say their investigation began here in the parking lot of the Island H2O Water Park several weeks ago, when those vehicle burglaries were first reported. Investigators say they caught the suspects in the act when they returned here on Wednesday.
Just checked the door handle of a black SUV 2 over from that yellow Jeep.
The Osceola County Sheriff's Office sharing this video from the sky. Detectives say that's 33-year-old Nicholas Rivera attempting to break into cars Wednesday in the parking lot of the Island H2O Water Park.
And he just checked the Jeep and the vehicle next to the Jeep.
The investigation actually began last month after several water park guests reported stuff taken from inside their vehicles. They identified 28-year-old Jamaica Spencer as a suspect after detectives say she used bank cards stolen from those cars. Then on Wednesday, while detectives were staking out the couple,
and our aviation unit, which obviously can have much better concealment, went up on this day and followed a female suspect and a male passenger leaving the residence in this gray Hyundai.
The helicopter followed the car to the Island H2O Water Park.
And he just starts pulling on door handles. It's a crime of opportunity. If a door is locked, he moves on to the next vehicle, he pulls on the door handle, and vice versa. He just keeps going.
Investigators then followed the couple to Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. The pair turned around when they noticed deputies. You can see video of the takedown from the sheriff's helicopter.
If you can go forward, we can get them right between the three of us.
All right, go ahead, Kyle.
Once the pair's car stopped, detectives discovered a 2-year-old boy in the car seat in the back.
To me, is just horrible as a mother. I'm a mother. I could never even think about taking a child to commit a crime.
And the sheriff's office says more charges could be filed as they continue to investigate more of those reported vehicle burglaries. In Osceola County, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Well, now to a deadly shooting from a case of road rage. The man accused of shooting the other driver faced a judge this afternoon. It all started with a fight between two drivers yesterday afternoon right here on State Road 46. It ended in gunfire at an apartment complex in Sanford. News 6's Laverne McGee explains what happened when the accused shooter faced a judge.
Your bond is set at none.
Jaden Alexander Harris made his first appearance this afternoon, appearing on a murder charge. He was not given bond. Police say he shot and killed Joseph Morris Hall. It appears to be a road rage incident, and the report alleges Harris went after Hall. According to the Sanford Police Department arrest report, Jaden had several opportunities to disengage from pursuing Joseph, but maliciously continued instead, and witnesses heard them arguing. It happened on Thursday around 5:20 p.m. at View on Lake Monroe Apartments in Sanford. According to police, Harris and the other driver got into an altercation while driving in the area of State Road 46 and Magastine Avenue. The altercation ended at View on Lake Monroe, where police say Harris was shot. This woman said she's horrified, especially since it happened around after-school pickup time.
That's something very small. It shouldn't have gotten to where it did. You know, I feel like it definitely could have been prevented.
Regarding the incident, Chief Cecil Smith stated, what led to this tragic death was a minor traffic issue, followed by Harris's bad decisions. If you have any information about the shooting, Sanford Police would like you to contact them or reach out to Crime Line. In Seminole County, Laverne McGee, News 6.
Well, 5 people are in ICE custody tonight, detained from a traffic stop outside of Popka High School. This happened to students who were arriving this morning, and it caused the school to be placed on a secure hold. News 6's Mike Valenti looked into what happened.
We're still trying to figure out if the 5 people in ICE custody have been charged with any underlying crimes. But state authorities tell us that this all stemmed from a traffic stop near Popka High School. Videos taken by a parent of a high school student give us a glimpse into the confusion outside the school Friday morning. A Popka High placed on a secure hold due to what the district called unrelated law enforcement activity near the campus. No one allowed in or out of the school at the time. We later learned from Florida Highway Patrol that a trooper had pulled over a vehicle for running a stop sign. FHP says the driver came to a stop, but 4 passengers inside ran out. Apopka police helped in chasing them down, and FHP says all 5 people were turned over to ICE/Border Patrol.
The vehicle allegedly ran a stop sign. We don't hear what criminal charges, if any of these individuals were facing, other than the fact that they're allegedly now in ICE custody. And because of this, an entire school's operations came to a halt.
Philip Arroyo is a criminal defense attorney and specializes in immigration law. He's critical of what's called the 287G agreement that state and local law enforcement agencies are mandated to sign. The agreement with ICE deputizes those agencies like FHP to perform ICE functions.
We believe that the laws that have been passed in regards to this, of having state actors carry out federal functions, is unconstitutional, but that's something that the appellate courts are going to have to handle. But as of now, obviously FHP has their hands tied. They have to follow the law, whether it's unconstitutional or not.
After FHP told us the 5 people in the vehicle were turned over to ICE/Border Patrol, we reached out to Customs and Border Protection. A spokesperson with that agency said this was an ICE matter. We have yet to hear back from ICE, and it's not clear where those 5 people are being held at this moment. Reporting in Apopka, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Well, before meeting face-to-face, President Trump warned of severe economic consequences if Russia does not move toward peace with Ukraine. After tonight's summit in Alaska, no peace deal, but plenty of kind words for Vladimir Putin. Next at 11, what Putin said that caught Mr. Trump a little off guard. Incredible video as a plane goes down through a tree in a neighborhood. How the Florida family on board survived with the help of strangers jumping into action.
I'm Catherine Silver in Bushnell with a story of kindness. How one of our News 6 viewers got a new roof just in time for hurricane season.
It seems like every time I reached out to you guys, something got moving. I have a lot to be thankful because of Channel 6.
The program and the people that made it possible.
You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Friday night covering the Milk District, Mineola, and all of Central Florida. Now on News 6, our top international story tonight. The summit in Alaska is over. Both President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin boarded their respective jets to fly out of Anchorage late tonight. They first greeted each other on the same tarmac in Anchorage about 4 hours earlier. It was their first in-person meeting since 2017. 2.5 hours later, they had a slightly different take on the fate of Ukraine. President Putin, said he and Donald Trump had reached an understanding and warned Europe not to torpedo the progress. President Trump says there's no deal yet.
There's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately up to them.
Both leaders praised each other's leadership, but it's what Vladimir Putin said next that appeared to catch the president a little off guard.
We'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening.
While the two leaders met inside, a pro-Ukraine demonstration took place outside in Anchorage. Protesters unfurled what they claim is the second largest Ukraine flag in the world, 132 feet long by 65 feet wide, weighs about 90 pounds. We're still waiting for the Ukraine president to weigh in on what he's heard tonight. Look for updates as they come in on clickorlando.com. Now that is some amazing Ring doorbell video. It captures a plane plunging into a tree, going down right in the middle of a South Florida neighborhood. The crash itself happened about a month ago in Pembroke Pines. Tonight, we're seeing the chaotic situation on the ground as neighbors and first responders jump in to help rescue the family on board.
Straight up, straight up. Let's get away from here. Go, go, go.
So the mother, father, and teen daughters seen sitting in the grass were all on board the plane. They were traveling back from the Caribbean to North Perry Airport when that plane dropped into the tree there. Officers didn't have to see the Ring video to be amazed that no one was badly hurt.
The tree really helped the fall. That would have been straight concrete. This would be a different story.
So neighbors immediately jumped in, including the man on the left side of your screen. That's Eddie Crispin.
I don't want to say like it makes me feel like very heroic and anything like that. I just feel like I was put in a position where I was supposed to be at the right place at the right time, and I wish and feel like anybody would do the same thing.
Crispin was one of 4 Good Samaritans honored last week at a Pembroke Pines Commission meeting for their heroism. Good Samaritans of a different sort jumped in to help a man struggling to fix up his home. He was given a grant from the My Safe Florida Home program, which helps more than 30,000 Floridians each year get ready for the next big storm. Our own Catherine Silver is following one success story more than a year in the making.
That's Mom's tree. It was an acorn that had sprouted.
Eldridge Mack's mother bought this house in Bushnell that's now his. A generational investment, a symbol of stability.
So they replaced all the siding?
Yes.
He couldn't wait to show us his brand new roof.
Well, I'm glad we could meet in person finally.
Thank you. Yes, so am I.
You see, we first introduced you to Mack last year when he applied for a grant through the My Safe Florida Home program. And when we followed up again in June.
I have 13 estimates, which are yet to get done.
He had run into the same problem as so many struggling homeowners. You submit paperwork, you wait, you try to find someone to do the work without money to put down.
Once they found out about the My Safe Florida Home program, that they would have to wait on their money, they all just disappeared.
What changed?
Your interview, it was the next day. I got a call.
In parallel to that, the team at MySafe had reached out to us.
Ed Baldwin's company, Profile Gorilla, reached out.
We do a lot of support for the insurance industry and homeowners, just ensuring that the contractors that they want to use are licensed, insured.
And they connected Mack with a roofing company.
And he was just telling me everything he was going through. So I just reached out to the owner, Mr. Curtis at RIG, and I said, hey, here's a story. How do you feel like, extending some generosity to Mr. Mack?
RIG Roofing wasn't just willing to do the work. They were willing to do it at the cost of the $10,000 grant.
A roof that might have cost, $8,000 10 years ago, very likely it's $16,000 today. Reached out to the owner again. He's like, you know what, Gary? we can take that money off.
What about him resonated?
Hearing a story about how he was battling cancer and going through a low point in his life.
You see, when we spoke to Mac earlier this summer, he wasn't just hoping for help. He was also healing from surgery.
My right lung was removed. I had something called non-small cell.
It sounds like a sky was really falling for you at one point, and all of a sudden it seems like the stars aligned.
Every time I reached out to you guys, something got moving.
You could call it timing, call it luck,
I mean, it just the dominoes fell in place.
call it kindness.
It was a blessing. I get a little emotional, but to know that there are honest, good people out there.
This means a lot to you.
Yes.
It's your family.
Yes.
It's your legacy.
Yes.
It's your home.
It's my home.
In Bushnell,
I'm very thankful.
Catherine Silver, News 6.
And it's a nice home at that. All right, let's get you to Jonathan Kagas because we have some flash flood warnings right now.
Yeah, we do. One stubborn cell popped up right around Ocala tonight on the east side and really slid back in. We had the one cell fizzle out, but we are watching more thunderstorms now. Slide out of Sumter County coming out of Coleman and Wildwood pushing back up. So we are going to watch for more heavy rain coming back down the pipeline. We showed you the rainfall estimates before, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain falling in just about a 2.5 hour time stamp there. Some flooding already reported in Ocala. We had a vehicle stall out in downtown Ocala again. So just be careful out there. If you don't have the News 6 weather app, it's a good time to download it again. It is free. You get alerts like flash flood warnings on your phone, and you can track all the bells and whistles, lightning detection, all of that stuff going forward. Now, for the rest of the night, Future Radar doing a nice job pinpointing the lone thunderstorms out there tonight. Those should fizzle out over the next couple of hours, hour or two. We should be dry everywhere. Once we get into 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, nice quiet start. Then we're going to do it all again in the afternoon, especially late again. There's 5 to 6 o'clock. Most of the action is west of Orlando. And then watch what happens. We watch things build back. That's 7 to 8 o'clock on your Saturday evening. Everything tries to push back from I-75 back toward I-4 and then just kind of wash its way out to the rest of the evening. Temperatures are toasty tonight. We're at 84 in New Smyrna Beach still at 10 o'clock, 88 in Titusville, 83 in Orlando, a little bit cooler because of the thunderstorms that are ongoing in Marion County and in parts of northern Sumter and Lake County tonight, keeping us into the upper 70s. For tomorrow, rain chances back to 60%. Those are going to be later on into the evening, as I showed you there. Temperatures getting back into the mid-90s for afternoon highs. Latest on Aaron, interesting to watch what's going to happen at 11 o'clock. Not with the track. The track looks good. It's going to stay away from mostly everybody. But the pressure way down from the last time we talked at 5 o'clock. 982. It's a sign that it is strengthening. Right now, the winds are at 85 miles an hour. As we continue to watch this, again, I showed you the official forecast, but just wanted to show you the models again for transparency. Up and out around the Bermuda High. We were talking about this last week, that it would likely be a nice escape route to stay way away from Florida. It is going to have the beaches pretty wild as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Some big crashing waves as we get into the middle part of next week. You see the rip current risk going to go really high, really late this weekend and through next week. You see wave heights at the beach are going to be back to that 5 to 8 foot mark again. So just keep it easy. If you're grabbing the surfboard, they're going to tell you not to. Again, just be safe. The rip current risk is going to be very high. Temperatures over the weekend in the mid-90s. Rain chances back to 60%, especially late tomorrow. We'll keep that 60% shot for storms on Sunday as well. High temperatures through all of next week. Nice and warm, Matt. We're keeping things into the mid-90s. We'll be right back.
I try to report on the issues important to people in Castleberry, but I'm not the only one. I'm here in the community room of the Castleberry Police Department with the crew of the What's Up Castleberry podcast, which shares the people, stories, and ideas that are important to this city.
What's up, Castleberry? Welcome to episode 178.
Why did the photojournalist go broke?
Why?
Every episode begins with a Dad Joke of the Week contest.
They kept working for exposure.
Okay, that's 3.5.
Alex is laughing. But soon the conversations turn serious.
So you've been at Seminole County Emergency Management for 13 years.
Because 5 years ago, Andy Searles realized people were missing out on all his city has to offer.
We asked the question, what would it be like if we could shine the spotlight on some of the great things being done by great people in our city?
Nearly 180 interviews later, they've spoken to local business owners, community leaders, artists, educators, and public officials.
Start preparedness now. Don't wait for the storm to start brewing or the disaster to start happening.
Like Stephen Lerner with Seminole County Emergency Management, preparing listeners for hurricane season. Their most recent guest, their Castleberry community correspondent.
I think it's cool that I get to, when there's not bad stuff, I get to actually get to know people, tell the real stories, like you guys are doing.
We talked about the power of a community sharing each other's stories.
There have been some stories we've covered over the years that have really touched people's heart and spurred people to action.
When someone at home has that emotional connection by seeing what someone's going through and they're moved to help, that's the power of journalism.
And the hope that sharing those stories can make a difference.
Those are connections that are starting to make a difference and spurring people to action and encouraging them to make a contribution to our shared community life.
For more information, please visit us at whatsupcastleberry.com. And until next time, have a great week. Bye!
Temperatures, Matt, get back to the mid-90s. We're going to have storm chances, getting back up to 60% for the weekend.
All right.
Just doing some dodging, especially late into the evening.
All right, good to know, my friend. You can catch all of tonight's stories, plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. We'll see you at 11.